If you can't tell by the way I look, we got back yesterday from traveling for the holidays for 10 days, and I really don't want to get groceries just yet. So we're gonna try and cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner from the pantry, fridge, freezer today and see what we can come up with. Let's do it. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Like I said, we just got back from traveling for the holidays. It was like 10 days and we're exhausted. It was so much fun, we're tired, but we also have to eat. So I'm trying to figure out breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the day out of the pantry, fridge, and freezer because I just don't really want to get groceries quite yet. I feel like we have enough that we can make do for like another few days. So let's see what we can come up with for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Hopefully we can come up with something good. Okay, so for breakfast, we ended up getting some milk from my grandma last night. So some of the family had cereal. We had a few eggs left. Cereal doesn't really fill me up. I don't love it for breakfast, so I'm doing something different. We still have a few eggs left, so I may eat a few of those too. But I have these old-fashioned oats that I think I'm gonna whip up. And I have an apple that needs to be used. It's kind of getting close to its last leg. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do like a brown sugar, cinnamon, oatmeal, apple oatmeal kind of thing. Hopefully it'll turn out good. So that's what I'm gonna do for breakfast. And then I think I might scramble a few eggs on the side as well. We just have like 3 eggs left. So use those up and see how it goes. Okay, so to start out with this, I just put a cup of water on the stove to boil and I'm putting that on high. And once that starts to boil, then I'll put a half a cup of my old-fashioned oats in. And while that is starting to boil, I'm gonna cut up my apple just into little tiny chunks. And then we're gonna add that once the oatmeal cooks. All right, so our water is boiling, so I'm gonna add a half a cup of our oats to this and give it a good stir. I'm gonna add like maybe just a few extra. Okay, and I'm just gonna give this a good stir and let this cook and let the oats get soft. And then while the water was boiling for the oats, I did cube up some apples. I used maybe a third of the apple. We'll use this for something else later or just eat it. But this is what I'm gonna use for just my serving. I like apples, so I'm gonna throw quite a bit of those in there and go from there. All right, these oats are coming along nicely. They look pretty cooked, so I'm gonna add the apples in and let that cook with it. I'm just gonna give that a good stir. I'm just gonna let these cook for a little bit, soften the apples up just a little. All right, now I'm gonna add a little bit of cinnamon to this. I'm not measuring, just gonna add a little bit in there. And I'm gonna give that a good mix. And then once this is all cooked up, I'll put it in a bowl and put some brown sugar after that. All right, so I've got my scrambled eggs, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then my oatmeal with the apples and cinnamon. I got a little brown sugar I'm gonna add on top of that. I'm gonna mix that all together. All right, let's do a little taste test on the oatmeal, see how it is. That is so good, oh my gosh. That is really good. This may be what you can find in the pantry meal, but it's really good. I would actually recommend this. Super yummy. It's lunchtime, I'm still in the same clothes, same hair, haven't showered yet. Just how it is after you travel. But for lunch, I'm gonna be doing rice and bean burritos. I have rice on hand, I have black beans. You can do these with refried beans too, but just something super simple and easy and yummy, some protein in there. Let's do it. All right, so to start out, I'm just adding some rice to my rice cooker. And then I'm going to do chicken broth instead of water because I had chicken broth in the fridge and thought that sounded yummy with my rice instead of cooking it in water. So I'm just gonna fill it up to how much it needs with chicken broth. And then I'm just gonna cook this. And then we'll get started on the beans. All right, so my rice is done. Now I'm just gonna add a can of black beans to this pan. And then I am going to add some garlic salt. I like garlic salt, so we're gonna add a little bit of that in there. And turn up the heat. Give it a good stir. And we're just gonna let that sit and cook until it is warm. All right, so my beans and rice ready, so I'm gonna get my tortilla ready. I'm just gonna put a little bit of sour cream down the middle. Then I'm gonna take this and get some rice and beans. And this is a really good option if you don't have room in your budget for like meat. Beans can also offer some good protein. You got healthy carbs here. And I'm gonna put beans on top of the rice. You can even mix the beans and rice together beforehand if you wanted to. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of cheese on top and some salsa. I don't think we really have a whole lot of salsa left, but we're gonna try. All right, and there you have it. This is gonna be so filling and so yummy. I am super excited to eat this. All right, so for dinner, I'm gonna do it in the crock pot. I have about 4 of these frozen chicken breasts. I have 2 in each bag. So I'm just gonna throw these in the crock pot. I sprayed it down. And they're kind of stuck. There we go. So I've got about 4 frozen chicken breasts. I'm gonna stick in here, and then I'm gonna do a barbecue chicken, pulled chicken kind of thing. So I have a bowl, and I'm just gonna add into that a cup of barbecue sauce. And I'm gonna scrape the cup. I'm gonna go grab a spatula quick. I thought I was filming and I wasn't. So to the barbecue sauce, I added a 1/4 cup of brown sugar as well. And I'm just gonna give that a good mix and then add it to my chicken. And to my chicken, I'm also gonna add some garlic salt on top before I put anything else in. So I'm just gonna do some garlic salt in there. And then also a little bit of just regular salt. And then I'm also gonna crack some pepper in as well on top. And everything that I've used is just coming from my pantry, fridge, and freezer. I did not go to the store for any of this. And I'm gonna add on top my barbecue sauce and brown sugar. And of course I'll scrape the bowl as well. All right, so I scraped out the bowl and just spread it around a little bit. And I'm gonna stick the lid of the crock pot on top. And I'm just gonna put this on high until everything's cooked through. The chicken is tender. So we're gonna let that go until dinner time. All right, at this point we have to do a voiceover because my house got a little crazy. But the chicken was tender after sitting for probably 8 or so hours in the crock pot. So I shredded that up. We also decided to add some suddenly salad that I had sitting in the pantry. This is super yummy and easy to make. My husband really likes this one. It's like a bacon ranch kind of one. So I just put some water on to boil. And then once that got boiling, I just added the pasta mixture in there. And then they also include a little packet of seasoning that I'll show you later what you do with it. So I just put the pasta in and gave that a good mix in the water, and I'm just gonna let that sit until the pasta gets tender. Then I also had these 2 sweet potatoes sitting in my pantry, just kind of some lonesome sweet potatoes. So I decided to cut them up in some fries, and then I added some vegetable oil on top of that. I love doing fries like this in the air fryer. They're so yummy. So I added some vegetable oil and then gave that a good mix. And then after I mixed that around, I also decided to add on some of this Morton sea salt I had sitting in my pantry. And after I added the salt in, I also gave that another good mix just to coat everything up and get it good. I also love doing this with regular potatoes, not just sweet potatoes, but then I shut it up and put it, my air fryer has different settings. So I think it was 25 minutes that we put it in. And then this is where I am doing the mixture, the seasoning for the pasta salad. You just add some mayonnaise and the seasoning together in a bowl and give it a good mix until everything is incorporated. And that's what I like about these, is that they give you the seasoning. All I have to do is add some mayonnaise, which is really nice. And then all I did was take this mixture and put it into the pasta that was cooked. I drained it and then just added this mayonnaise mixture in and gave it a good stir. And then this is what it looked like afterwards. I just put it into a bowl and then I just stick it in the fridge for a little bit. It's best when it's cold, but it was a little warm still. And then these are the sweet potato fries when they were done. They were so good. This is literally the best way to make fries. If you have not done this in your air fryer, you have to do it. And then this is my chicken shredded. It was super tender after this. Absolutely delicious. I didn't need to add any more barbecue sauce. I didn't feel like, but if you want to, you certainly could. And we didn't have buns, so we used bread because we're eating from the pantry. And this was the final product. I love mixing barbecue sauce and mayonnaise together and dipping my fries in it, but it was so good, budget friendly, and came from the pantry, so it was great. All right, guys, so there was our pantry challenge for the day after traveling for Christmas and not wanting to get groceries yet. We were able to cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner out of the pantry, fridge, and freezer. I actually love doing these. I think they're so much fun, and it's fun to try and challenge myself and see how I can use ingredients in different ways and be creative with what we have in the house. So I encourage you to try this every once in a while if you're needing to stretch maybe either your paycheck, or you're not getting paid for a little while, or you just don't want to get groceries quite yet. You know you can make it a little longer. I challenge you to do this every so often, maybe for a day or two or a few meals or something like that. It's really fun and really gets your mind going as to what you can really create in the kitchen with what you have on hand. So definitely try this out. These meals were all delicious. They were super easy. They were filling. They had good protein, carbs, everything. They were healthy. So definitely try these out. I hope this was helpful and gave you guys some new ideas on how you can utilize your pantry, fridge, and freezer For more videos like this, please like and subscribe below. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you guys soon.